Well, dear students, myself Sarshad Hussain. Today we shall discuss the phylum Protozoa. Phylum Protozoa comprised of 50,000 species. Today we shall discuss its salient features. Let us start with the salient features or the general characters of phylum Protozoa. Uh, Phylum Protozoa includes very small, usually microscopic organisms called as animalcules. Animalcule is an old name for microscopic animal-like organisms. Simplest and most primitive of all animals with protoplasmic grade of organization. So, among animal kingdom, the most primitive are the phylum Protozoa. They are having a protoplasmic grade of organization. Protoplasmic grade of organization means every activity are confined within the limit of a single plasma membrane because they are unicellular. Single cell is performing the function of a whole body. There is not a division of labor among different cells because whole body is comprised of a single cell. So every activity is performed within the limit of a plasma membrane means within a same cell. So this is called as protoplasmic grade of organization. Their body is unicellular and we have already discussed it is more appropriate to call them acellular, uh, containing one or more nuclei which are monomorphic, same form, or dimorphic, double form. Now, either the cell is containing one nucleus or more than one nucleus. If more than one nucleus, sometime all nucleus are of same shape, so they are monomorphic. Sometimes one nucleus is small, other is large. So such type of nuclei are called dimorphic because they have the double forms. They are solitary or forming loose colonies in which individuals remain alike and independent. Now, solitary you can understand that living alone, but sometimes you can see the Volvox colony where many cells lives together in a colony. But in a colony, every cell, every cell is an individual, is independent, is not dependent upon the other cell. So in that fashion also, they are solitary. Because otherwise, normally what happens, whenever the animals or the organisms lives in a colony, they are dependent upon each other. They share the division of work. Whereas in this case, in the protozoa, you will not find any sort of interdependency among different cells, even if they are living in a colonies. Uh, as far as symmetry is concerned, either they have no symmetry at all, or they have the bilateral symmetry that they can be divisible into two equal halves. Sometimes they may have the radial symmetry, or radial symmetry is also called as spherical symmetry. I have already explained you. Like if you can divide a circle into many as number of radius, similarly, as many are the same number of radial symmetry can be there that the animal can be divided into two halves by more than one, two, three, four, or many. You can say many uh, uh, divisions because in a circle you are able to draw so many type of radius. So as per the radius, the animal can be divided or the organism can be divided into many halves. Their body is naked. That means, except plasma membrane, you may not find anything extra covering or sometime bonded by a pellicle. But sometimes you may find extra to the cell membrane the pellicle. Pellicle is a living proteinaceous layer and often provided with simple to elaborate exoskeleton. Sometimes you may have the exoskeleton also. Exoskeleton is normally the non-living internal or external layer of organic and inorganic material. So, if you are having pellicle, then the living proteinaceous layer is there outside the cell membrane, and sometimes the non-living layer in the form of exoskeleton, either formed by the organic or the inorganic material. Organic material means gelatin, cellulose, pseudochitin, and inorganic means silica, calcium carbonate, etc. Sometimes this exoskeleton is often impregnated with foreign bodies. So what happens? Foreign bodies means the dust particles, anything else may also get entangled or impregnated into the exoskeleton also. Exoskeleton is referred to as cyst. So in the in the protozoan, whether the exoskeleton is formed of organic or inorganic, it is commonly called as cyst, theca, lorica, test, or shell. So it means you may have the naked cell or you may have the pellicle, you may have the exoskeleton, which is called as cyst, theca, lorica, test, or shell. Body form usually constant. So, example, euglena, varied in some, which that means changing with the change of the environment or change with the age. It is the example of amoeba or paramecium. Euglena always have similar type of body. This is the constant body. Whereas the amoeba and paramecium, they used to change their shape according to the changing environment as well as the age. Only physiological division of labor is there. That is the already I have explained you. That is there is a protoplasmic rate of organization. That means the single cell is performing all the activities of the for living, which is normally characterized the which characterize the animal body. That means for having a body, whatever functions are to be performed are performed by a single cell. Such type of division is called as physiological division of labor. Locomotor organelles may be a finger-like pseudopodia or whip-like flagella or hair-like cilia are absent. I have shown you this diagram. Here in the amoeba, they are the pseudopodia, finger-like. Here in the euglena, there is a whip-like flagella. In the paramecium, so many small hair-like structure of the cilia. Nutrition is holozoic, animal-like. It may be holophytic, plant-like. It may be saprozoic. It may be parasitic, with or without definite oral or anal aperture. Now, normally what happens whenever we think of the animals, you always think that animals have a mouth or the oral aperture, and they have another opening called the anal aperture. So, if they are having the animal like of nutrition, that doesn't mean that they will always have a oral or anal aperture. It may be present sometime, it may not be present sometime. Digestion is intracellular, takes place within the cell, and that takes place within a food vacuole. So in the cell, it's a food vacuole where the digestion of the material takes place. Respiration or excretion through general body surface or through contractile vacuole, which serve mainly for osmoregulation. So now either the body surface performs the function of respiration, or sometimes there are certain vacuoles called as contractile vacuoles. So contractile vacuoles, they mainly serve the function of osmoregulation. What is osmoregulation? That is regulation of osmotic pressure. What is osmotic pressure? Pressure needed to prevent the passage of water through a semi-permeable membrane. So normally what happens if you look at here how the contractile vacuole are performing their functions. So many small vacuoles taking various material to be excreted outside are coming together at a point. Then one vacuole is joining with another so forming a little bit large vacuoles, and then all of them will fuse into a very large vacuole, contractile vacuole. This contractile vacuole will fuse itself with this portion. As a result, through this opening, the material will be excreted outside. Reproduction is asexual by binary or multiple fission. Binary fission means when the cell is dividing into two, and multiple fission means when the cell is dividing into many cells at a time. Or sometimes a bud may arise and that may separate and develop into a new individual. Sexual by conjugation of adults. So sexual mode of reproduction is by means of conjugation. The conjugation of adult is called as hologamy, and sometimes fusion of gamete is there, which is called as syngamy. Life history often complicated with alternation of asexual and sexual phases. We have already discussed in the animal kingdom that the lower forms of the animal kingdom have alternation of generation between asexual and the sexual phases. So in the protozoan, this happens also. There is an encystment. Encystment uh, is basically a system for the protection. What happens? It commonly occurs to, to help in dispersal as well as to resist unfavorable condition of food, temperature, and moisture. When in the environment, you will not find food, you will not find temperature, you will not find suitable moisture. They develop a cyst around them, which will protect them against the unfavorable conditions, or when they want to disperse from one place to another so that they may not get destroyed, they again develop a cyst wall around them. This is called as encystment. Free living protozoan are mostly aquatic, fresh, seawater, and damp places. All these are the places where you can find the protozoans. Parasitic or commensal protozoans often live inside or outside the body of the plant or animals. Sufficient moisture is essential in their environment. So that means either they are aquatic, if they are parasitic, even then they require the moisture condition over there. Protozoans are immortal. Why immortal? Because the single cell is always immortal. If this is a single cell, say for example, when it will give rise to two cell, the same cell will divide. Half of the this cell will go to half of the portion of this cell will go to one cell, half of the portion of this cell will go to another cell. So it means this cell will disappear, new cell will be formed. So in the other sense, if you look at the content of this cell are living in both the cells, so it is called as uh, immortal. Thanks. This is all about the phylum Protozoa.